Okay. We going? Okay. Have a seat, big guy. Okie dokie. First of all, today in your lesson, we are going to learn about figuring out whether or not, when given a direction, if a character is following it promptly and correctly. Okay? So, for instance, let me ask you this. When someone tells you to do something, how long does it usually take you to do it? A month? Did you say a month? Oh, I thought you said a month. I was like, wow, that wouldn't be very prompt, would it? Prompt means done quickly, right? You know, sometimes you will come into the classroom and you'll say, hey, Miss Masters, I need you to help me with my locker, or something like that. Do I do it quickly? I don't. How long does it take me to do it? Don't know? Well, yes, sometimes I am distracted by other students or other tasks, but I usually do what you want me to do, right? You'll come to my office sometimes and you'll help me fix my iPad. And I'll say, okay, and I'll help you fix your iPad, right? That's how it works. You're kind of sleepy this morning, aren't you? Having trouble waking up. Okay. Well, basically, what I want you guys to understand is we're going to talk through some scenarios, and we've got some characters, some goofy-looking characters. This one kind of looks like Michael, don't you think? That one looks like Annabelle. We'd have to color her hair. And that would be Jalen. That looks kind of, it looks like Keaton. This one looks sort of like Haley to me, doesn't it? Isn't that funny?
Who's me?
I don't know. Which one would be you? You think that one looks like you? Yeah, I can see that. I don't know about these two guys.
Who's that?
I don't know. You know what? That kind of looks like Frankie to me.
Who's
Yeah.
this? Henry?
Yes, that's a good one. That does kind of look like Henry. We should show him these pictures later. Okay, so a lot of times when someone asks somebody to do something, sometimes they kind of do it in their own time. They the big word is called procrastinate. Okay, have you ever heard that word? It just means to do it slowly, or sometimes not at all. Waiting until the last minute to do what somebody asks you to do. An example of that would be waiting until the morning of to complete a homework assignment for a teacher, right? Yeah. Have you ever done that? Have you ever waited till the last minute to do something?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have. Does it make it easier if you wait until the last minute, or harder? It does. It does. I would agree. It does make it harder. Okay, well, it's important to understand that when someone gives you a direction, you have to do it quickly, because first of all, not only does it keep you safe sometimes, because like teachers will ask you to sit down. Something as simple as sitting down or come here or something like that can sometimes protect you and keep you safe. Okay? Another reason would be, one of these days, you're going to have a job. Can you believe that? One of these days, you're going to be a grown man and you're going to have a job. And you and I have talked about this before in a lesson last week, about when you have a job and your boss tells you to do something. Do you wait? Procrastinate?
You do it.
You do it, yeah. What would happen if you didn't do it on time?
You get fired.
You could. You could get fired. You know what? If Mr. Johnson asked me to do something and I said, I'll do it later, yeah, he wouldn't be very happy with me, would he? Not to mention the fact it would not be very safe, because a lot of my things I have to do is to keep kids safe and to teach them to learn. So it's important that we do what our boss asks us to do. Okay. We are going to do this worksheet together, and it's going to be kind of quick. We're going to go through it fairly quickly, and I'm going to do one for you, but I would like for you to read the directions. Can you read the directions up here for me, please?
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Is the student doing what the teacher asks him to or her to do? Right away.
Oh, good inflection on the question mark there.
Circle
Okay, so I'm going to use my pencil today. Look at my fancy pencil. It's purple. It matches my jacket. How fun is that? Okay, so this one says, Miss Brown asked Tommy to come up to her desk. Tommy walked over to the window. First of all, I think Tommy did not do what Miss Brown asked him to do. Asked him to do. Miss Brown asked Tommy to come up to her desk. Tommy walked over to the window. So, no, he did not go to her desk. So he did not comply with instructions right away, did he? Now, is it okay to go look out the window? It is, but why did I mark no if he went to the window?
Because the teacher asked him to come to the table.
Oh, yeah. So it was all about,
Yes.
he didn't do it in time, right? He kind of did it in his, we don't know that he didn't eventually go to her desk, but he certainly didn't do what she asked him to the right way.
He didn't listen.
He didn't listen. Well, we don't know that he didn't listen. We do know that he didn't do what he was asked to do, right?
Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you? You hear the teacher tell you to do something and you just don't do it.
Yeah.
Why do you think this guy, why do you think all people, because lots of people don't follow directions sometimes, what might be a reason that they wouldn't follow directions?
Because I don't know.
Don't know? Well, I know one reason I don't follow directions. Sometimes I don't follow directions if I don't understand what I'm doing. Ignore it if they can't read it. If I don't understand what they're doing, sometimes I won't do what they ask of me. Does that make sense?
I won't do like if the teacher asks me to do. Like if she says, "Can you please do something?"
Uh-huh.
Can you please alright, can you please help me with the iPad to turn it back on?
Okay. So you like to help when a teacher says please?
Yeah.
Yeah, and me too. When someone is nice to me and asks me to do something in a nice tone of voice, then I will be much more ready to help. That's a lot of times people don't want to do what you're asking them to do if you sound snotty about it. You know? That's a horrible word to use, isn't it? But it basically just means if you're not nice to someone, they may not do something for you. Okay? So, don't understand. Could we even say maybe you don't like or respect that person? Would that be a reason someone might not do something?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, if someone does something that doesn't treat me nice, maybe I'm not going to do that for them. Another reason would be that they really like what they're doing just then. Like, let's give an example of when you're using your iPad. You really like your iPad, don't you? And we all like our electronics. I love my phone, too. If you're watching a video on your iPad and Miss Casey comes up and says, "Hey, it's time for chorus," you really like what you're doing at that moment, right? So you don't want to go. You don't want to leave the activity you're already doing.
I kind of do sometimes turn off the tablet when it's time for lunch.
Yeah. Oh, even lunch? See, lunch would make me run instantly.
All the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm just telling you now.
Okay. Well, that's great. Thank you. That is a very great way to show honesty, Dawson. We all do that sometimes. There's things that we don't want to do, and sometimes we will avoid doing them. Okay, so let's do this one together. Okay, so this one says, my tongue tied. Miss Smith asked Susan to put away her math book. Susan did 4 more math problems. Is she complying with instructions right away? Okay. Even though the teacher asked her to put the book away and she continued to work. Yeah, I agree. She did not follow directions. Why didn't she follow directions?
She wanted to do her own thing.
She wanted to do her own thing. And you know what? That is fine. I mean, obviously she was doing math, but there may have been a reason Miss Smith asked her to put the book away.
She was too
Obsessed? Is that
about the books.
Oh, okay. So she was obsessed about her math book? Yeah. So she was really focused on working. That's kind of like you and the iPad, right? She was really focused on math, and sometimes you're really focused on your iPad. Okay, well, let's do this one. It says, Miss Green asked Mike to hang up his coat. Mike got up and hung it up. Did he do what she asked him to do?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. He did. In fact, he did it quickly, didn't he? He immediately did what she asked him to do. That is awesome.
He didn't. He did.
Yeah, they both kind of waited, and he didn't. And waiting, that big word is procrastinate. Have you ever heard that word before? If you wait, can you say procrastinate?
Okay.
I know, right?
What is it?
Procrastinate.
Tonight.
Say it all together. Procrastinate.
Procrastinate.
Awesome! I love it. High five. That's a big word, isn't it? I tell you one thing, if you go home using that word, Bobby will be very impressed. You can tell him that today we learned about procrastinate. Okay, and that just means to wait and do it on your own time instead of when someone asks you to. Okay, so I'm going to let you do these three all by yourself. So read that one, and you tell me whether or not that character that looks like Keaton is doing what he's supposed to do. Here, I'll give you the pen.
Yes. Peters.
I know, right? Isn't that funny?
I have a teacher here.
Uh-huh.
His name there.
Uh-huh.
Miss Peters asked the class to line up for Gray started to clean out his desk.
Okay, so what do you think? Yes or no?
No.
I'm liking the way you reread that. Good job. Way to check your answer. Okay, try the other one.
Miss James. This is James.
Uh-huh, it does.
My brother's name is James.
Oh, that's funny.
My real life brother.
Yeah.
Asked John
Uh-huh.
to put her pencil
Mm-hmm.
down. John put it in her ear.
Did she do what she was supposed to do? Yeah, and on top of that, she was being unsafe, wasn't she? Please don't put that pencil in your ear. That would be gross and unsafe.
Like this part could poke you.
Yeah, it could poke you. And that's a good point to make. Sometimes you have to do things to keep yourself safe. So every once in a while, we'll have a drill in our building, and a teacher says, you need to go to the corner of the classroom and you need to be quiet. What would happen if you weren't quiet, if it was a real situation?
You want to be in trouble?
You'd be in trouble, but you'd also put yourself in danger. And you might put other people in danger as well.
There might actually be fire in here.
Yeah, that too. If it's a fire drill, you really have to do what's being asked of you. You have to be safe, right? Okay, well, we have one more. Do that last one for me.
Miss Clark. Miss Clark.
I know, right? Well, we have all of those teachers in our building.
Miss Mark. I know Mark's name.
Mm-hmm.
From my summer program.
Yeah.
To take a note. The office. Mark said, who does it go to? Miss Clark said it goes to Miss Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Mark took
The
note and went to the office.
Okay. So
I
yes,
don't know.
yes or no? Read it again. Read it again. Check for clarification there. I think maybe you were reading it.
Clark asked Mark to take a note
Mm-hmm.
to the office. Mark said, who does it go to? Oh,
Okay.
that's a space. I didn't know that.
Okay. Good
I
job
just
for
want to-
clarifying that. Checking your surroundings. That worked out nice.
Go to Miss Clark. Said it goes to Miss Jones. took the note and went to the office.
Okay, so did he do
Yep.
what he was supposed to do?
Yep.
He did. Good job. Man, that was a big piece of dialogue, wasn't it? That was a good job. Okay, I have a question for you. What if Mark did not go to the office? What if he took it to the wrong person?
I never took it to the wrong person.
What if he took it to the wrong person? What would happen?
He'd be in trouble.
I don't think he would be in trouble, but
He
it's
just
certain.
wasn't listening.
Yeah. Is it okay to make mistakes?
Yes.
It is, definitely. Now, what happens if I send you to the office right now? Dawson, I want you to take this to the office, and you take it to the 8th grade office instead of the 7th grade office. Would you be in trouble?
Mm-mm.
No, you wouldn't necessarily be in trouble.
Isn't the regular office downstairs?
Uh-huh. How would you fix that
So
situation?
that would be where Mr. Johnson is? Or,
Right. So how would you fix that situation?
By going there?
Yeah, and what would you do then?
Say, oops, sorry about that.
Perfect. You'd apologize, right? It's okay to make mistakes, and sometimes we have to fix our mistakes.
Yep.
Yeah, good
Was
job.
that Devin?
I assume it was, yes. We may want to wind up our lesson here. Okay, so that is the end of our lesson, and what you've done is you've learned how to determine whether or not someone follows directions promptly or quickly without procrastinating or waiting and doing it at their own time. It's important to do what a teacher asks us to do or a boss asks us to do, and when we do it on time, then we project a positive attitude, right? Okay, next lesson, we're going to read the book Big Jerry, okay? This book is so fun. It's about a giant that even though he does what people ask him to do, he made a big mistake.
Hey, big friendly giant.
That's a big friendly giant, yes. But he made a big mistake. He made a giant mistake, and he had to fix the problem. So we're going to read about that.
Jeremy?
Yep, Jeremy. Okay? Okie doke. Thank you, Dawson. I appreciate you helping me out today.
So that's tomorrow?
Yep, that's tomorrow.